Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Now that we're in the Dark World, there's a couple things that we can do, and my first priority is getting a better sword, because this Master Sword is nice and all, but I think we can do better. So my first priority is going to be getting a better sword. Now, of course, the sad thing is to get a better sword, I have to be able to beat Dungeons 6 and 5. Now, you can't even get into Dungeon 6 until you have the item from Dungeon 4. Now, you can't get the item in Dungeon 4 unless you have the item from Dungeon 1. So we're going to Dungeon 1, but first we can stop a couple places along the way. Now, as much as I want to just sequence break the crap out of things and go and, like, do whatever, I got really lucky with, cutting down all the bushes right in front of the place, by the way. I got, like, a fairy out of that. I didn't catch one, but it refilled my health, so that was nice. And now we can see that the Master Sword shoots a beam, which is kind of awesome. The beam's power... Hey, peace out. The beam's power is equivalent to that of your previous sword, not a full Master Sword swing, I'm afraid. So that'll be nice. Another item we can get here. Now, when you're dashing, you can actually be facing the wrong direction and then turn while you're dashing, which normally if I'm looking up here, I'm just gonna, like, grab onto this, and then I can't do anything with it. I suppose I've got a little bit of leeway if I get back far enough, but you can't just, like, look that way and then turn up. And there's something hidden in this one. The Magic Cape. The Magic Cape, when you equip it, makes you turn invisible. You cannot be harmed, nothing can happen to you. But it does drain your MP. So that's about it for what we can do on this very screen. Now, as much as I just want to sequence break the crap out of everything, I do kind of want that new sword, and that does mean that I do need to get to the first dungeon. So despite that, I want to stay over here and, like, do the fancy stuff over on that side of the bridge, I need to go to the right side of the bridge. Sometimes that rock is fake. Now, for this, you will want 110 rupees. Oops. Did not want to bonk that wall. I just happen to have 219, so it's worked out pretty well for me. Now that I've come here, that is not the button I wanted to hit. Looking at the Dark World, we can see we are where the Eastern Palace was in the Light World. Now, I think it's very interesting, because at first glance, this whole place over here looks a lot like just kind of random shrubbery and moving around and stuff. Couple hearts in here. I keep forgetting who this guy is. Like, you see this big building and go, oh man, a big building, there's got to be something important in there, and then it's just like that guy. But I think it's very interesting how well this place actually mirrors the Light World version of this place, in as far as the location of things, if not the function, necessarily. For example, this right here was the large square area that if you went around, you could then hop down or go downstairs to go to another section in the middle. And then beyond that still, you could go down like a set of stairs right here and go down to where Sahasrahla was. And his house is like right here in the middle of this thing. Hi. I got a monkey. Now you have to give him 10. I like how I'm explaining very basic mechanics and then I'm like breaking the game wide open. So like, to the people that don't understand the basic mechanics, I don't think they're going to be following anything that well. Sure thing, you have to pay the money, sadly. This is why you need the other 100. That should be one of the last things that you have to spend a large sum of money on in this game, though. So after this, you're just kind of saving up for saving up's sake. Now, getting the item out of this dungeon, which this is our goal here, is to get the item out of this dungeon. Getting this item will actually save us a shortcut as well. I'll be able to get to the Dark World without having to do the Death Mountain descent trick. You say you're gonna shoot fire at me there? Now, much like the intro to the Eastern Palace, from the very beginning, you saw that there were 3 passages. The whole dungeon split into 3. You can go into the left one, though, and now there's actually something there. Now, you don't really need to go into the right one right now, but I'm going to go in it anyway, just for the sake of showing it off, because I figure I should at least attempt to show off the dungeons and not just, like, skip everything because I can. So this will take you down and around where an item awaits us further up. Now these guys are sort of a pair to the big eyeball guys. Sort of. They take a lot of blows, they deal with a lot of stuff. The green ones you can just run up and sword. They die to 1 arrow, much like the green ones do. The red guy, you cannot sword him. So much like the other red guy, you can arrow him to death, but if you look at him, he spits a thing at you, so you have to shoot an arrow and then move him into it. Oh, wait. Conveyor belt here, so you gotta kinda move a little. Why did I do that? That was a terrible idea. I have to deal with 2 of them down there. Get the dungeon map, and this is effectively a dead end. However, we can go both to the left and the right here. To the left is a small key. And to the right is a fairy fountain. Now, I'm actually missing both fairies. I shouldn't have to death warp anymore after this. Or I shouldn't have to abuse, like, the dying thing anymore after this. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch him for insurance. And actually, you know what? I don't have to go back the long way. I can just do this. Now, since I picked up a key on both the left and the right, actually, I can use 1 key to go in here. And my first stop is going to the right. Push that off the cliff. It's kind of funny because if you jump down there, the block's actually sitting down there. Let's see here now. Get another small key there, but I don't actually need anything else over there yet. So I'll be getting back to that. What I do need is to bomb a hole in the floor right here. Let's see here. I think there is a key if you drop down there in the middle. I'll be down there in a moment. Because what I need is what's in this chest. Of course, if we're going to get the big chest item out of this dungeon, we need the big key. Now, these guys have their heads come off and are generally a nuisance. That teleporter will take you right back to this room, which we saw a moment ago. Crap. Those guys have big, like, helmety heads and crap, so they're actually very difficult to hit. A pot will kill them outright. Moving this back because I can. If you can, like, slink around their side and stab them in the side, that works too. Okay, now we just need the big chest item. So that's our next goal. We gotta get to the big chest itself. Now, let's see here. I should be able to just go straight here. Yeah, because blue's up, so red should be down. If you want, by the way, you can actually just hit the switch right there like that. Like, you don't think you could, but you can. Now for my next trick. This is a really hard trick to do, so I'm probably going to mess up a couple times, if not die a couple times. So, good time, fun having. Crap. Reset the room. Yeah, made it! Okay, that is a, by the way, that is a pixel-precise jump. What I did was I ran up, swung my sword sideways, and I lined up my sword between the two tiles. So you can see how my sword is, like, really cleanly between those two tiles. You then have to lay a bomb down, and then you have to move yourself up exactly 8 pixels. So that your sword is at a very specific location along the side of a bomb, which I'm not going to do for obvious reason. Or I'm not going to show you for obvious reason. If you look back on the video, though, it happens. That'll blow you over here, though, and if you hold up, you can just go over and go, hey, I got a thing. Go us. Normally you're supposed to go up and around and do a lot of more fancy things to get that, but now we got us a hammer. Yeah, hammer that thing. Hammer that thing. So my next goal is going to be... My next goal, I suppose, is going to be getting a better sword. So, since I kind of want a better sword, there is a better sword that I can get, and I don't need to go to that dungeon to get a better... I can get 2 better swords. One, I have to beat dungeons 5 and 6 to do. The other, I need to beat Dungeon 4 to do. But, to get into Dungeon 6, I have to beat Dungeon... or I have to get the item from Dungeon 4 anyway. So, next stop, Dungeon 4. Now, why is it that we can get to Dungeon 4 now, despite that we're in the Dark World? We're kind of supposed to have to... Where am I even going? Oh, I know where I'm going, okay. Despite that I've only done Dungeon 1 in the Dark World, I should kind of be forced to go to Dungeon 2, but I'm actually not. Because normally you would use the Dungeon 2 item to get across this pit here. However, a lot of people... Well, I'm just kind of standing on a rock. However, a lot of people don't really notice that there is... It's not even a glitch or a trick or anything. There's just kind of a way into the Dark World up here. Just have to make your way up to the forest. I think it's on the other side, actually. Bombs! Not what I'm looking for. I actually meant to go down this way. Dang it. Need to go the other way. Actually, I can go over this. I can go over here. You see that big thing? That's the Dungeon 4 item. Will let us deal with that. But if we just kind of go around yonder... I miss that the music's gone in the Lost Woods now. Yeah, now coming the back path here, as long as you have the magic hammer, you can just go this way and get to the Dark World from here. So that's pretty alright. And now we're into the Dark World proper as Link over here, and we didn't have to glitch the game. So that is pretty spiffy. There's a lot of neat things we can actually do with the hammer now, thinking about it. But I suppose the first thing I'm going to be doing is going in here. So until next time, everyone, I'm getting me that new sword.